Hello everybody, my name is Mike Plays, and Mike Kevin Plays, which takes fancy. Welcome back to another recap of the Sony press conference that was on last night. I'm going to try to get this video out on the day after. Hopefully it'll be just after the Nintendo one finished, and I'll try to get the Nintendo one out tomorrow, but we'll soon find out. So the start of the press conference was a bit weird. They showed off a few PlayStation TV commercials. It was kind of confusing, mainly because I was a little bit unsure if that was either part of the presentation, or if it was either part of the presentation, or it was part of the sort of end of the pre-show that was on before the presentation. But anyway, it started off with a bit of live music from India, and then it sort of faded into Uncharted. But the only problem was, with the stream I was watching, it didn't actually have the music, so everything was just sort of silent. We could hear the crowd every so often cheer and clap and everything, but I'm pretty sure someone might have accidentally pressed the wrong button on that, and they just sort of played the actual footage and didn't press the sound to make the sound happen. It was a bit weird, but once I switched over to the YouTube gaming stream, it actually had the sound working finally, and then it showed off a bit of Horizon DLC, which was sort of set in the winter. It was kind of like what happens in the winter in that game. It does look interesting. I didn't actually play Horizon, so I have no idea if that's going to be any good or anything. Then after that, they showed off the Biker Apocalypse game that they had last year, which was called Days Gone, which just had everything, which just had as many zombies as it can on. It's kind of like Sony's answer to Dead Rising in a way, but it's more in a serious tone rather than a silly tone. So that was kind of cool. And then it also had a zombie in it, which was really interesting, and a lot of people actually liked that. Then after that, we got a brief introduction from Sean Layden, who's one of the head people of Sony. I'm not exactly sure because I don't follow all them people, and I'm not exactly sure, but he showed us a little bit of Monster Hunter World, which was a particularly exciting game for me because I actually like Monster Hunter games. They're really interesting and I like all the creature design, but the only problem is I've only played them on the 3DS, and I would much rather play them with a console, and then I can actually move the camera around a little bit rather than having to use the little nub in the top corner. Next up was more monsters in the form of Shadow of Colossus revamp. I'm probably not going to get that game. I did not like the original Shadow of Colossus. It was not really my type of game, mainly because it involved a bit too much running and a bit too much waiting, and it was a bit long and boring, so I'll just stick to watching the Game Grumps playing it or someone like that. Then they had a bit of Marvel vs. Capcom storyline, which looks pretty interesting. If it's going to be in the way of the Mortal Kombat game, where you have to play a set of specific characters and then just play the game, then I would be absolutely on board with that if it does that whole thing. Then they've showed off some Call of Duty Call of Duty World War II, which just looked like a COD game to me. I didn't like it, but I'm pretty sure some of you guys liked it, or some other people liked it, but it's just not a game for me. Next up was the VR games, which started off with Skyrim, and that's definitely getting around to Skyrim. It's going to be on the VR, the Sony VR, and it's also going to be on the Nintendo Switch sometime either this year or next year. I think it's the beginning of next year. I'm not exactly sure on that one, but that's coming out. And also they had some VR platformers, which I was very curious to figure out because I'm not sure how a VR platform would work. That was one called Star Child, which involved a giant robot doing stuff. I'm not sure if you can either control the little character in it, or you can control the giant robot. It's a little bit confusing to me, but it would be interesting to find out how that worked. Then they had the VR horror game, I think it's called The Independent, which is you in a insane asylum and stuff basically happens. As long as it's not full of jump scares, I'm probably going to be interested in it and actually willing to either buy a VR system or watch someone play the game. Then they have Final Fantasy Fishing, which was one of the mini games in the new Final Fantasy, which I only played once to find out what it was, and it was okay, I guess. It wasn't particularly great, but it was something, and it was something there to watch. And then they had Bravo Team, which is another sort of Call of Duty knockoff, where you basically have to just shoot the enemy. It looked alright, but the only problem was, in the trailer, the dude did not like he could shoot straight at all. He was like flipping out whenever he was shooting. It was just going not in the direction I was expecting it to go to. Then it ended, the VR stuff ended with a game called Moss, which was kind of like you're escorting this little mouse around as a ghost from... It looked like we only saw one bit of the ghost, and it kind of reminded me of the ghost from Spirited Away. I can't remember what it was called, but I'll try and bring up a picture of it and hopefully not remove it in the end of editing process like I usually do. But it looked kind of weird and kind of interesting at the same time. Once all the VR stuff had ended, they showed off some more God of War stuff for the new God of War. I'm hoping the kid is not Kratos' son, because Kratos' son, because the whole idea of him having another kid is a bit weird, and it's just going to give me sort of Last of Us vibes, which I didn't like if it's going to be that way. I also noticed that Kratos' voice is not the same guy it was before. I'm not sure if that was because it was a stand-in, or because the other guy was not very good, or he was or sacked or something like that. It may be something a lot more personal, but I'm not entirely sure on that one. But as long as the game is like the old ones, I'll be very interested into it and probably be playing it. Then they had a game from the people who made Heavy Rain, the sort of Detroit Becoming Human, which involved you being an android, and sort of you have multiple ways to do everything. Like, you can sort of, if you're in a situation where the cops are coming, you can choose to either hide, attack, or run away, or anything else in that matter. It was rather interesting. Probably not going to get it, but as long as if it's intentionally, unintentionally funny, as Heavy Rain is, then it might be something to look forward to. Then Destiny 2 happened, which is basically just bigger, badder aliens invade, and you get sort of blown up, which is why you go back to level 1, I'm assuming, and then you have to build yourself up to go and destroy the aliens, I'm guessing. Something like that. Then Sean Layden came back. He gave us a little break, say, wasn't that an hour of fun? And I was like, sort of looking at my watch going, oh, that was an hour, wasn't it? But after that, he basically said he was going to show us a true exclusive, which basically was just the new Spider-Man Arkham-esque game. It looks pretty interesting. It does actually look like an Arkham game, which is a good thing, because then it's sort of the new Batman game that's coming out this year, well, next year, I'm assuming. I will probably definitely be picking that up. I'm hoping you can get different outfits and costumes in it, because I do like the new costume, but I would also like to go around in new or the old costumes as well. So that's it for the Sony press conference. That was my opinions on it, and overall it was fine. I'm not going to be bothering to do an Ubisoft one, because I kind of watched Ubisoft and forgot to write notes down, and I couldn't really record after it, so I'm probably not going to be doing anything for the Ubisoft one. The other thing I will say about the Ubisoft one is it actually brought out Beyond Good and Evil 2, which is a really interesting game, and it's actually got me to purchase the original game, and I might do a little let's play of that soon. It all depends on when I buy it. But until then, I'm going to be doing something for this video. I don't know what it is. It might be a little picture I'm going to be drawing on my art program. I don't know. You'll find out when I've finished uploading, because this is all post-recording. But I'm going to be doing another video tomorrow for the Nintendo event. that's happening tonight. So I will see you guys in the next video, and hopefully you will watch that one, because I am a bit of a Nintendo fan and there might be something interesting. So I'll see you guys in the next video, so see you tomorrow.